First question. Which influential American poet was born in Long Island in 1819? Answer D. Walter Whitman. Walter Whitman was an American poet, essayist, and journalist, a humanist. He was a part of transition between transcendentalism and realism, incorporation both views in his work. Next. What is the earliest surviving European poem? Answer A. The Homeric epic. Next. Who wrote about the idyllic isle of Innisfree? Answer C. W.B. Yeats. William Butler Yeats, Irish poet, dramatist, prose writer, and one of the foremost figures of 20th century literature. He was born on 13th June 1865 and died 28 January 1939. Next. Sylvia Plath married which English poet? Answer C. Sohels. Edward James Sohels was an English poet, translator, and children writer. Next. Carl Sandburg Planked Whitefish contains what kind of imaginary? Answer C. War. Next. Harold Nicholson described with poet as very yellow and gloom's perfect manners. Answer B. T.S. Eliot. Thomas Strance Eliot was a poet, essayist, publicist, playwright, literary critic, and editor. Considered one of the 20th century major poets, he is a national figure in English language modernist poetry. Next. Shakespeare composed much of his plays in what sort of verse? Answer C. Iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter is a type of matrix line used in traditional English poetry and verse drama. The term describes the rhythm or meter. Next. In 1960, the Colossus was the first book of poems published by which poetess? Answer B. Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath, born on October 27, 1932 and died February 11, 1963, was an American poet, novelist, and short story writer. Next. What was strange about Emily Dickinson? Answer A. She rarely left home. Emily Elizabeth Dickinson was an American poet, little known during her life. She has since been regarded as one of the most important figures in American poetry. She was born December 10, 1830 and died May 15, 1886. Next. In which poem Kipling said, "If you can meet with triumph and..." Answer C. Disaster. If is a poem by English Nobel laureate Rudyard Kipling, written circa 1895, as the poems "If You Can Meet with Triumph and Disaster." Next. Which of the following is not a literary device used for aesthetic effect in poetry? Answer D. Grammar. In linguistics, the grammar of a natural language is its set of structure constraints on speaker or writer's composition of clause, phrase, and words. Next. Which of the following is not a poetic tradition? Answer C. The occult. The occult in a category of supernatural beliefs and practice which generally fell outside the scope of religion and science. Next, what is the study of poetry meters and from called? Answer A. Prosody. Prosody is consonant with those elements of speech that are not individual phonetic segment. Next, which poet invented the concept of the variable foot in poetry? Answer A. William Carlos Williams. William Carlos Williams, born on September 17, 1883 and died March 4, 1963, was an American poet, writer and physician closely associated with modernism and imagism. Next, who wrote the famous lines, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate." Answer D. Shakespeare. Next, from what century does the poetic from the folk ballad date? Answer A. The 12th. Next, from which of Shakespeare's plays is this famous line, "Did my heart love till now? For years its sight, for I never saw a true beauty until this night." Answer D. Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy written by William Shakespeare early in his career about two young Italian star-crossed lovers whose death ultimately. Next, what is a poem called whose first letter of each line spell out a word? Answer C. Acrostic. An acrostic is a poem or other composition in which the first letter or syllable or word of each line spell out a word message of the alphabet. Next, Auld Lang Syne is a famous poem by whom? Answer D. Robert Burns. Robert Burns, born 25 January 1759 and died 21 July 1796, also known familiarly as Ravisburn, the national bird of Ayrshire, the flagman poet. Next, how has Stephen Donne been described the Oxford Companion to 20th century poetry? Answer A. Poet of middleness. Next, the Cambridge School refers to a group who emerged when? Answer B. 1960s. Next, Margaret Atwood was born in which Canadian city? Answer C. Ottawa. Margaret Eleanor Atwood, born November 18, 1939, is a Canadian poet, novelist, literary critic, essayist, teacher, environmental activist. Next, which of the following words describe the prevailing attitude of high modern literature? Answer both A and C. Here A. Skeptical and C. Impressionistic. Next, which Welsh poet wrote Under Milkwood? Answer D. Dylan Thomas. Although Thomas wrote exclusively in the English language, he has been acknowledged as one of the most important Welsh poets of the 20th century. Next, who wrote Canterbury Tales? Answer A. Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer was an English poet and author, widely considered the greatest English poet of the Middle Age. He is best known for the Canterbury Tales.